Hey guys, welcome back to the shop, and look what we got here today. Today we have more of our Build the RoboCop, okay? So it's Build the Legendary Cyborg RoboCop. I have issues 23, 24, 25, and 26 that we're going to be doing in today's video. This one will be a short video, it'll be really quick, so pay close attention because we're going to build some more of his leg. Alright, so we're going to be starting off with issue 23. This is what the cover looks like. And as you can see, I brought back the leg and what the part we're going to be working on today. Alright, so for step 1, we have to take this piece here, which is 23 Bravo, and attach it to 23 Alpha. It's going in right here. So we're going to do that real quick. Plug this in, and then we'll move on to step. And there it is. 23 Bravo is in with our piece of 23 Alpha. As you can see here, if you notice, it's going in this direction. This is the front of the leg, and this is the rear of the leg. As you know, this is the side view. So just make sure that your low end goes towards the rear, and that high end right here is towards the front. So without further ado, step 2 we're going to go into. Alright, so step 2 is kind of easy. All we have to do now is connect our pieces to the leg. Alright, basically all we're going to be doing is just sliding it right into place, and then we're going to attach it. Once we've completed all that, we're going to be going on to step 3, which step 3 will be us taking 4 of the EM screws and screwing them in to 19 Bravo, which 19 Bravo is the old piece right here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is part of stage 3. It's now connected. We have a full outside view of the leg, and here's how it looks on the inside. Those screws had to go here, 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 and here. So that's pretty cool. Now that we've got it all secured in, our next phase is to go on to book number 23. So we'll begin with the steps from that one, and then we'll move along. So here we have it, guys. Stage 24. This is what the book cover looks like. The inside shows basically a little more clips from the movie and some behind the scenes. But we're not going to dive into that, because if you have this book at home, you can see it on your own. If you did not, don't forget, you can go to fanhome.com and get this here book on your own. So no worries, but we will be showing some behind the scenes later on as we continue on with our build. So if you really want to see what's inside these and think before you go out and buy this model, by any means, go ahead and stop by our channel. We'll do some behind the scenes and show you what's inside each magazine, but they'll only be coming out quarterly and not every single episode. Okay guys, so here's the other side of the leg, and here's one of the pieces that we have here for stage, let's see, this is from the other ones, we'll skip that. But this is now for stage 24, and as you can see, this is a very big piece. If I put my hand next to it, you can see how big this piece is. But holy moly, man, look at that. That's huge. That piece is huge. Okay, so that's just supposed to be his upper leg piece. But for now, that's going to get mounted on. So without further ado, let's go to step 1. Okay, folks, so basically now we're going to take 24 Alpha here. Notice it does have a little L there, signifying that it's going for the left leg. But since we've already got the parts and everything, we're just going to go ahead and put it on, because we know we're working on the left leg, okay? If you get lost and you're not sure if it's the left leg or not, it's easy to tell by the insole of his foot, okay? So if you're just thinking that you're on the wrong way, I mean, that's one way to tell, okay? But other than that, we're going to move on here, and we're going to mount this piece on. In order to mount this piece on, we have to have the leg laying in this direction, because it's all going to line up just like so on his leg. So it's going to line up, and then we have to come back later and we'll be able to put some screws in. Okay, so what's going to happen is now that these two are together, it's going to look like that, and we're going to go on to step 2. And step 2, basically all that covers real quick is 24 Alpha and 23A put together. All right, this is what you do before you have to screw it in, just to make sure that it all fits. Then, once that's completed, we're going to move on to step 3. And with step 3, basically, all you're going to be doing is getting the 2 EM screws that came with it. They're going to go inside this one and this one. So I'm going to go ahead, put those in, and we'll move on to the next. All right, so step 4 is basically pretty easy. All right, you have securely fixed the screws in place, which will support the assembly as it continues. Okay, so it says save the piece 24 Bravo marked L2, which is equivalent to the piece of 23 Bravo marked L1. So this is L2 right here, and L1 we've already put it on, which is right here. We're going to be needing that for another stage in this video. So hang 10 with this one, okay? And we'll have that attached on a later thing. But other than that, facing on the other side of this leg, this is what it looks like. 2 screws put in, and as you can see, we have some more screw holes, and that is where our other piece is going to come in and cover all this up to complete majority of his left leg. We will be getting some parts later on in another video that will actually take care of this front fascia and show that it's RoboCop Mark 001 on it. Okay, so don't be afraid, don't worry, we're going to be covering that, but that comes into a later video. For now, we're going to move on because we have another book that we want to show you, which will be then stage 25. So hang in, we're halfway through now, guys. Right, guys, here's issue 25. It looks just like this. It's real nifty. The backside still looks just like this, and on the inside we're going to have all the pieces that we need to do. So without further ado, let's move on to stage 25. Hey guys, for stage 25, we have our leg right here. We have the EP screws because they're going into plastic, and that's these pieces. Roughly the only metal part will be right here, but we won't have to worry about that yet, okay? But as you know, we need this small one to go inside here. All right, so that way he's got a ball joint, and then we're going to be later on adding these two together and screwing it into this piece here. So without further ado, let's go to step 1. Step 1 is pretty easy. All you have to do is put the ball through the hole, make sure that your curvature here goes between these two, and then we'll move on to step 2. Right, so for step 2, it's pretty easy now. We're going to take 25 delta and 25 echo. All right, and we're going to be putting those on top, okay? So as you know, 25 delta is the small one. That's going to go here, and then you're going to take this one and you're going to put it right on top, okay? And then of course, now our next goal is to attach 25 Bravo. Once those are on and you have 25 Bravo there, we're going to sit these right on top. And in order to do that, it's kind of be a little bit difficult, okay? Because there's a little piece that this has to line up with. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to line those all up, and we'll be good to go. So what's going to happen is this little piece, this little piece that's right there has to fit in that little groove there. And then these will be fit along the 3 slots. So I'm going to go just like this, and I'm going to fit it on, and there we have it. It's there, it's in place. Now that that's in place, my next goal is to take the EP screws 1, 2, and 3 and put them in these 2 locations. So now that step 3 is all completed and all my parts are here, we're looking pretty good, okay? So our next phase is to then flip over our leg here real quick. Once we have this flipped over, we're now going to attach this using the 2 EP screws. Once they're attached, those 2 EP screws are going to go here and here. The slots are really easy to find because they're here and here. So all we're going to do is attach it right onto there. It's got a nice little curvature here for it to land on, just like so. Okay, once that's been completed, we now can move on to getting those EP screws put on. All right, so now that that piece was screwed in, I'm going to tell you, it was not an easy task. There was a little bit of popping up and things like that were going on, But all in all, I'm very impressed. It's all done. These 2 screws, pain in the butt. Took me almost 20 minutes to do this. How ridiculous. But anyway, we're ready to move on now to our last stage, which will be stage 26. Here we are, guys. Last stage, 26 for this video. And this is the book that we're going to be using. Still the same thing. Everything is good to go. We're just going to be finishing up the outer side of this leg over here. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Here's everything that you're going to need for stage 26. So we're going to move on to step 1. Step 1 is where we're going to start looking at these 2 items here. Okay, so for step 1, we're going to put the leg just like this, and then we're going to take this piece. And pretty much all we have to do is just make sure that they're going to meet up together and look really good, which, our luck, they do. All right. But our next phase is we have to connect these 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it here. All right. So these 2 connect just like so. And this is where these little black pieces come in handy. Okay. What's going to happen is we're going to take one black piece and we're going to mount it on top of this piece. Okay. Once we mount it on top of this piece, it then will be able to be connected on to another piece. So this is going to get very tricky here, guys, because step 1, it just basically tells us to put these 2 together. However, they don't stay together, right? So what we're going to do is step 2 tells us that we're going to be putting a black piece onto here. All right, we're going to screw that into place. Once that's screwed into place, we're going to move on to another one. Now to screw this in place, we have some CP screws. So I'm going to put one CP screw in here, and that'll get us all the way to stage 3, or step 3 of this RoboCop build. So steps 4 and 5, I kind of combined them because these are all the pieces that are going to help us connect the other leg piece here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how I did that. I basically just noticed that they're just going to connect like this. So now I'm going to take 2 more CP screws, just like I did with this. I'm going to screw these in place. That'll give us all one solid piece to connect on to the leg. There we have it, guys. The piece is all set and good to go. It is all one solid piece. As you can see, we have L2 still not being used yet. So don't worry, guys. We will be getting to that piece. However, that's going to be on a later issue. So make sure that you hold on to that and don't lose it, because right now this is all we have. So just to give you an idea, these 2 long spikes here are going to go inside here. That's where we're going to do some more screwing in of this leg, and then 2 more for the other side so we can get them in. And then we have another small one here, which will be screwed into this piece, and another small one there. All right, and that'll be for the other side. However, all of our screwing that we're going to be doing for this is going to be on the outside of this leg. So we are going to have to cover some of this, okay? So be prepared for that, okay? Now, you got 1, 2, 3 of them, all right? And then you have 1, 2, and then 3, okay? So they're all going to get screwed in, but there's some holes up here at the top that are going to hide those screws that'll screw the top half in, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip the leg over, give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Is you're going to line them up, and they'll just fit in there nice and easy. So the inside of his leg is going to be practically kind of hollow in there, okay? But these 2 pieces will go together later on. I'm not clicking them all in now because I'm afraid that I might not be able to get them out. But we will be able to do that at a later date, okay? And this thing is really annoying. All right, there we go. Put that back on. I have to use some super glue for that because that just keeps coming off. But this is how this is going to screw into place and play an integral role in how we're going to be able to get this leg going. But you see that seam down there, it is going to get taken away when we hook up with the other pieces that'll be coming on to this. So this is pretty nifty. This is a nice little piece. So I'm going to kind of just leave it like this for now until our next adventure, because pretty much we're all out of books at this time. So just so you could see what we have done so far is we have all this done. Now this purple is what we have coming, okay? So we've got this part, we got this part done, we have his arm done, everything's looking pretty good. We have his foot and a foot done. So more pieces as we go along, and that's pretty good to know. So I'm pretty excited about that. So what we're going to do real quick is just, basically these are all the parts that we've worked on, the section that we've worked on. And I mean, this model's going pretty good. We're not at the halfway marker yet, guys, so don't think this is going to be a quick model here. We have to wait now until the next month when the next model bunch comes in. So, but this is pretty good. So whatever you guys do, just don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you on the next Build the Cyborg RoboCop video. Thanks for stopping by, and keep on modeling, guys.